is a very efficient education system around the basics of reading, writing and arithmetic. There was an effort to bridge the creativity gap with other countries, but that was abandoned. Where are we with the gap between what industry needs and what the education system is producing? We'll explore that today. Welcome back to year 4 of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which we release every Monday. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, master trainer, president of Dale Carnegie Training, Tokyo, Japan, and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. My new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, is ready. It is on Amazon. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaka, in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? We are looking at giving you a big edge in business in Japan. Let's all be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. This is episode number 210, Educational Trends Not Matching Industry Needs. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Japanese education includes exciting things like adults screaming abuse, using threatening words, kids mouthing slogans at mass rallies, and making over $2 million in a week. We know that Japan has a well-established escalator system for work and education. Enter on the correct ground floor, and with the passing of time and effort, you will get out at the top. Get accepted into the right elementary school, and you will then get into the right middle school, the right high school, and then the right university. You graduate and you get a job at the right company, and then over decades of grind, you work your way up to the top. Japan still loves rote learning, and parents will pay cram schools to get their kids fully tuned up and onto the education escalator. I was watching a program on television about a week-long training camp, a gashku, for aspirant future captains of industry. The program focused on 6th-year elementary school students trying to get into that all-important middle school of their choice. They had their hachimaki, their headbands, a Japanese symbol of resolute martial spirit and determination. They lived in small groups, working hard all day, taking tests and doing their homework together at night. The televised scenes showed their adult instructors yelling at them to get serious or get out. Their insufficient efforts drew harsh rebukes and extended tirades. If you were not matching the regime's expectations, you were bluntly told to get serious or leave now. You are 12 years old. The amazing thing was there were 2,000 kids, 2,600 kids actually, in this training camp. The organisers were also adept at psychological indoctrination, using mass rally techniques, getting everyone to come together outside on the assembly grounds for some good old-fashioned chanting of slogans and thrusting of fists into the air. This was $2.3 million. This program for a week, which is not a bad earner. This is on top of the regular monthly fees the parents already pay to cram schools throughout the year to get Michi-chan or Taro-kun onto the right escalator. A few things struck me when watching the show. This reminded me of karate training with my Japanese masters. A rain of criticism every class was the order of the day in the dojo. It also occurred to me that Japan loves this type of hellfire rite of passage. One of my team sent her son on this very camp, and she was happy that they were dealing out lots of tough love. Japan is famous for companies sending their errant staff to the adult equivalent of this training camp, meting out humiliation and abuse in large doses. You could argue that given how the older generation decries what a bunch of mollycoddled, overindulged, spoilt brats the younger generation have become, they need a bit of toughening up. Another thing that got my attention was the focus on rote learning and exam technique. This is the standard educational approach in Japan right through to starting university classes. At university, unless you're trying for very specific careers like medicine, the elite bureaucracy, or some job that requires you to pass a national exam, then the next 4 years are a type of Club Med for undergraduates. I know, because I did my master's degree at a famous Japanese university and witnessed this luxurious life of undergrad student leisure. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. Getting into a university will become even less of a grind as the declining youth population means fewer and fewer barriers to entry as institutions go into a death struggle for survival. So the ease of graduating will soon be matched by the ease of entry. Japan's experiment with the yutori kyoiku, relaxed education approach, didn't last long. The original idea was get away from rote learning and exam technique and try to help students to analyse, to think, to tap into their creative attributes. The first dismal results for Japan from standardised international tests and yutori kyoiku was out on the trash heap. If the object was to foster creativity and innovation, you have to wonder why they use the usual standardised tests as their ROI measure. The innovation issue hasn't gone away though. In the internet age, when anything you want to know can be found through a search engine, how relevant is rote learning and exam technique for the future? How much longer can a varsity system of floundering entry requirements and daycare for adolescents continue? We all know we need more innovation and creativity in companies. Where is this going to come from? There are a lot of public and private sector vested interest in keeping the current system moving forward, ever nudging irrelevancy, so don't expect change soon. The sting in the tail will be the decreasing quality of our new company recruits. They won't have much creativity after the system has had its way with them, and their rote learning abilities won't be much use either. If we think about the work skills, knowledge and abilities we will demand of our employees in the next 20 years, we can be absolutely sure the current Japanese system of education won't be producing it. Japanese companies have never heavily relied on academic institutions for educating their staff. With lifetime employment, investing in training people made economic sense because you would reap the rewards. With greater job mobility on the horizon, however, this social contract between staff and company will be broken. Young people who will be in short supply due to demographic changes will become like baseball free agents. They will rapidly discover they are able to swap teams for a better deal. The lost decade gutted in-company education. Training budgets were cut and many were never resurrected. Instead, they relied on OJT, on-the-job training. And so the investment on skilling up staff never occurred. This is sustainable for a limited period of time. And that point was reached long ago. So where are we up to? The companies aren't training their staff as comprehensively as they once did. The staff themselves will find themselves being lured by recruiters to move on to greener pastures. I believe the educational construct in Japan basically has its ladder up against the wrong wall. What will become of this country? What will we need to do to prepare ourselves for this brave new world? Are we thinking about these prospects? If we haven't spared a thought for this grim future of work, then now is a good time to take another look at assumptions, strategies, plans and targets. Those preparing now will win in this coming war for talent. Game on! I hope you enjoyed today's show, and so please subscribe on YouTube. Share it with your family, friends and colleagues. Become a regular. Hit the little bell icon to receive update notifications. Our website details are on screen now, www.dale-carnegie.cojp. It's packed with value, so certainly check it out. We try to offer as much value as possible, so you might also enjoy our other shows. In fact, we are releasing content 6 days a week. For podcasts, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, Tuesday for the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday for the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show, Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series, Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday for the Business Pro Podcast Show, Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays for Japan's top business interviews. Now, you get these wherever you get your podcast. Also, every Monday we release the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Every second Thursday we release the Business Pro Television Show, and every Friday the Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, every Saturday, we're releasing Japan's top business interviews. These are all on YouTube. We appreciate your support, and please let others know about it so they can benefit too. We want to make a contribution to helping people build their careers and businesses, and so please join with us in that endeavor. In episode number 211, we are talking about low energy doesn't work when presenting. So yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. We've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.